My name is Nicole Brandt, and I want you to close your eyes just for a moment. Picture yourself, and you have been preparing for a huge exam all week. This exam is worth 50% of your total course grade, and right now is the moment you are about to walk in and take this test. Your palms are sweating, your heart is racing, and your mind is all over the place. Right now, you are experiencing fear and stress. And today, I want to talk to you about how the amygdala plays an important role in modulating the emotional responses of fear and stress. The amygdala is an almond-shaped structure located deep within the temporal lobe. The amygdala is part of the limbic system as pictured in this slide, where the amygdala, the hippocampus, the hypothalamus, fornix, and other structures work together to regulate emotion and memory. The amygdala controls autonomic functions associated with fear, motivation, emotional stimulation, and emotional behavior. So when our body detects threatening stimuli, our amygdala controls our behavioral reactions that are associated with our flight or fight response. As we learned in the text, when the amygdala is stimulated, people experience anger, violent behaviors, anxiety, and/or fear. In a scientific study, the amygdala was removed from rhesus monkeys, in which monkeys showed tamer behaviors and had reduced behavioral actions related to fear. For example, when the amygdala was removed, these monkeys were approaching snakes that had previously harmed them because the monkeys did not experience any fear from the potentially threatening stimuli. Reduced emotional behavior and fear symptoms is known as the Kluver-Bucy syndrome, which is a neurobehavioral condition first observed in the 1930s. Lesions of the amygdala also show reduced emotions of fear, anxiety, and aggressive behaviors in both animals and humans. There is evidence that the amygdala also plays a role in processing participation in reward, positive emotional states, and unexpected, unusual stimuli that are related to safety and survival. I have always been very interested in mental health and different anxiety disorders and social phobias. And today in the world of mental health, with anxiety disorders and social phobias, there is no concrete, effective way to actually treat these mental health issues. Therefore, the amygdala is my favorite brain part because it can give us scientists and physicians all around the world a greater insight into the pathophysiology of anxiety and social phobia disorders. The amygdala communicates with the anterior cingulate cortex. The amygdala contributes to unconscious signals of a threat, whereas the anterior cingulate cortex processes conscious understandings of a threat. For example, the anterior cingulate cortex will cause fear when we are walking home alone late at night. People with anxiety disorders exaggerate threats, and during an anxiety attack, researchers have observed high levels of activity within the anterior cingulate cortex. A recent study titled "Mindfulness Meditation Training Alters Stress-Related Amygdala Resting State Functional Connectivity," a randomized controlled trial, along with other studies, has shown that doing mindfulness meditation can reduce stress and improve stress-related situational outcomes. This study specifically researches the amygdala's role within mindfulness meditation and stress reduction. The results of the study showed that there is a positive association between higher perceived stress and greater bilateral amygdala subgenual anterior cingulate cortex activity, which can be known as the SGACC. The x-axis of the graph measures the perceived stress score reported by the subject, and the y-axis of the graph measures the amount of activity within the connection between the amygdala and the SGACC. The graph shows that when connectivity of the amygdala and the subgenual anterior cingulate cortex has increased activity, the subject reports higher perceived stress. The study also showed that after mindfulness meditation training, the right amygdala connectivity to the SGACC was reduced. Therefore, mindfulness meditation is shown to promote neuroplastic changes towards reducing stress by reducing the amygdala and subgenual anterior cingulate cortex activity. These are the resources that I use to create my presentation, along with the knowledge that I have learned throughout this semester about the amygdala and the brain, and I hope you all enjoyed today learning a little bit more about the amygdala and its role in fear, motivation, emotional stimulation, and emotional behavior.